So we're trying to strike at 160, 157.
Bitter, really bitter.
And right now we're just above 150. And you see that 200 mark and the 175 mark. So as long as we're in between there or right before that, we're good.
I think that's was part of it. Was, you know, they realized that you drank this stuff. Not only did you survive, you also felt good better. You know?
Go ahead and this is what I don't encourage doing at home.
Yeah.
So I mean, you guys didn't get to see the grain, but what you're looking at is that kind of mixture.
Grist.
Yeah.
Grist from the mill. Out by Sanford Airport. It's a really cool park. It's private. It's not
good.
Not public, so they
good.
can have beer. Public parks now.
We'll try to get as much as we can in this last 5. Again, we're going to be adding 20. So another.
What was the total grain?
27.25.
Well, when you're mashing, a thick mash is 1-to-1. 1 quart of water per pound of grain.
Yep.
An ideal mash is about 1.25 quarts per pound. And a thin mash is considered 1.5 quarts of water per pound of grain. So I was just trying to do the math in my head. How many, you said you had 27 pounds of grain and you just added 40 quarts? So it's going to be a thin mash, which isn't terrible. But.
Nope. And I added enough 2 pounds of chocolate malt and 0.25 of black patent to get me my color. And then I was using Care Munich 3 and Care Munich 2. So I know my color is going to be on. It's about achieving my gravity. And if I got to supplement with DME, I will. But
You could boil it more.
I could just boil it longer. I got enough water to last me for what? It's one of the advantages living in America is water is just...
We have it on tap.
So what we'll do real quick is check the temperature and make sure that our strike temp is good. I might end up adding more water if I can fit it in there, which we should be able to because the grains soak up a lot. But yeah, Fred, if you want to take a look at this, we're at 151.
What they're doing is they're taking in the malting process, you take the starch that's in the grain and you turn it into complex sugars, called dextrin.
Yep.
In the mashing process, you're taking the dextrins and turning them into fermentable sugar. The yeast can only eat very, very simple sugars, like maltose is one of them, which is the main one we get in beer. Fructose we get from fruit.
Glucose.
Sucrose.
Table sugar.
Yeah, table sugar, really simple sugars. So the dextrins, the big long sugars, the yeast can't
Break down.
yeah, they can't digest it.
Unfermentable.
So the enzymes at this temperature chop in the alpha amylase and the beta amylase, they either chop it in half. So then instead of one long chain, you've got 2 chains, but the trick is you've got now instead of 2 ends, you have 4 ends. And the other amylase eats at the ends and chops the ends off. So I'm trying to remember what the temperature regimes are that they work, but I know
it's like 149 to 154.
Yeah, the beta amylase works at the lower temperature, below like 152 is like right in the middle, and the beta amylase chops the ends. The alpha amylase works at the higher end, and it's the one that chops longer chains of the sugar, and what you'll end up with is a sweeter beer, like a Bock.
Right.
If you mash at the lower temperature, you're going to get a drier beer because you're going to make more fermentable work. So that's one of the ways that brewers control, you know, how the beer comes out.
Temperature.
Yeah, it's the temperature and during the mash process.
I would say that, you know, it's like smoking meat. Like if you like really good smoked meat, like chicken, brisket, pork, that temperature is probably the most key thing without drying the meat out or undercooking it. And I always equate that to brewing beer because I'm an avid smoker, and I knew that I would be able to be decent at cooking beer because I can control temperature on smoking.
You can smoke some malts.
Smoke malts?
Yeah.
Just like kiln it or whatever?
Well, no. Well, it's in the Germans they call it Rauchbier, and it comes out of Bamberg for the most part. It used to be the way all beer was in the day, back before the indirect fired kiln. Well, that's how they do it, is they smoke the malt over wood, and it gets that character in there. You use different woods. But the fresh smoked malt, you can control it a lot better.